Hey, Brenda.
I
Hey,
am listening very closely to what you've been sharing, and I think maybe some of those things apply to me. I'm not sure. Um,
what happened? Like, what's going on?
I've got heart palpitations. I've got some kind of arrhythmia going on, blood pressure that goes up and down.
Like it will spike and then kind of regulate?
It spikes and then I go see the doctor and then it regulates. And so they say
Yeah.
nothing going on.
Yeah. You've got a little gnome in you too that's like messing with things to, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and usually it's the opposite. Usually it spikes when you go to the doctor and so I'm curious, do they have you on meds?
no, they are gonna schedule me for, they have me scheduled for an echogram.
Okay.
Uh, uh, and my dad, I think sometimes messes with me. He's trying to get me to connect with him. He's 92 and um, he's really going downhill.
Okay.
And so I keep trying to set boundaries on him. I
Mhm.
don't talk to him. But I think sometimes that messes with me. He's hanging on. He wants me to contact him.
Does it make you feel like guilty or upset or angry or
It scares me.
scares you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is what I would do. Like, when your blood pressure spikes, do you know how high it gets?
Yeah, it's gotten up to 151 over 90. It's not like one provider said, oh, we don't worry about it until it's 200 over something. And I'm like, well, I feel under pressure. My chest hurts, my
Yeah.
head's spinning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, and I would say like anytime you have like a circulatory issue, it does make you more susceptible to other people's emotions and the things they say. It does make you more susceptible to it because the circulation's off.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it really, if you look at how the brain works, it's not that crazy. And so I would do a variation for you. And I would actually add something that is not an essential oil. It's something you should be able to get at probably your local health food store, but let me walk you through it. So
Okay. But you
I
gave me,
actually,
you just tell you what you gave me before,
sure.
marjoram and sage on my wrist.
Okay.
And then the Lang body.
The body tonic. Okay,
Yes.
good, good. So how's the body tonic treating you? I'm curious.
Um, Sometimes I don't want to put it on. Actually, I want to just breathe from the direct bottle of Lang
Okay.
that I have. It feels, I don't know how to describe it. It feels like too much to put it all over.
Okay. Well, let's have you do that. Like you can just inhale it from the bottle sometimes. And
Okay.
instead of putting it all over your body, maybe just put a little bit on the abdomen. So
Okay.
it's not right on the chest, it's down on the abdomen. You inhale it a little bit, but you don't have to put it on your whole body.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's have you do that. Um, do you happen to have camphor?
No.
Um, you have vetiver?
Yes.
So let's have you do the thing with the arms and legs, like
Yes.
we were talking about just a minute ago with the vetiver, so go through the joints of the arms and the legs
Okay.
and unwind that. And again, we're going to post the pattern in the newsletter tonight. Like I've already shot the notes over to Samantha for that. So it will even be in the notes for you.
Okay.
It's in the clinical corner section.
All right.
So do that. And then, I would say, let's have you, you can inhale the Lang Lang, like maybe daily. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily have to put the body tonic on every day. You can kind of do it when you feel.
Okay.
But there would be another supplement that I would have you use.
All right.
And it's this non-essential amino acid called what is it? L-citrulline. Like it's like L-CITRU, like LENE, something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, we'll find it and post it for you.
Okay.
And you know, they use it for a lot of different things, but it has this interesting quality where it relaxes your blood vessels. You know,
Okay.
it relaxes the veins. And it's hard to do that with a lot of like herbs and oils. There's so many different things you can relax, but the veins, it's kind of hard one to hit. And
Mhm.
so, you know, we've been really trying to do a bunch of R&D with like, what's like kind of almost a foolproof way to treat blood pressure. Like if we could just provide a template of like, do these, you know, handful of things to treat a lot of different kinds of blood pressure, to either augment somebody's medication or help them to reduce their medication, whatever it might be. And, you know, Gotu Kola kind of does that, but I'm liking what's happening with this L-citrulline, I think is how you say it. It consistently will drop the blood pressure. I've seen it drop it as little as like 12 to 15 points, but I've seen it also drop somebody's blood pressure 30 points.
Wow.
You know, like that is substantial. Now, it only works if you have the vein issue. Like if you don't have the vein issue, it kind of doesn't work.
I
But
do think that's what it is.
yeah,
It's
I
vein
think a lot of
arterial.
blood pressure is like tension in the veins.
Yes.
I really do.
Okay.
Combined with cardiac fatigue. And so the Lang's hitting the cardiac fatigue.
Okay.
And you're opening up and regulating the arms and legs.
Mhm.
You know, I'm not so much concerned about you getting the blood to the head. I would just say treat the cardiac fatigue
Okay.
and you know, treat the veins. And I think some of that will regulate. Yeah. And then the byproduct is it makes you less susceptible to the triggering that comes from other people's stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And should I continue the marjoram and the sage on the wrist or not?
Those are both good. Sage is very good for brain fatigue, and marjoram. Why did we have you doing the marjoram? I'm curious. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah. Marjoram is very good for a lot of different things. It does transmute lower emotions and things. It does decrease the like body tension and the tendency to cramp and things like this. Very activating to the heart. I would say probably keep using it, given all the things that you have going on. Definitely the sage. If you wanted to drop one of them, I'd probably drop the marjoram,
Okay.
but definitely keep up with the sage.
And I have the Spanish sage.
Yeah, in any of them would work.
Any
Yeah,
of them works.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And you said there was a gnome in there. Anything to do with that?
No, I'm just joking that, like, you
you're
know, you go
joking.
how you go to the you go to the doctor, your blood pressure is high, and you get to the doctor. It's just like going to the auto mechanic, and you're like, it makes this noise, except when I'm here. You know, it's that same thing that, you know, you got some little gnome, mischievous gnome, like, you know, who knows why that stuff happens. It's kind of hysterical, but it happens a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Anything around protection?
actually, the working the arms and legs and the cardiac fatigue is very strengthening for protection.
Okay.
And so, I mean, it's, you know, it's a more involved version of it is in the protection class coming up. It is, you could say, cardiovascular function taps into more of the mystical side of the protective quality, which is diminishing your reaction, the tendency to be triggered. It's calming and soothing. It calms down the brain and the reactiveness in the brain. And it makes it harder for somebody to hook into you.
Okay. I need that.
Yeah, we all need it.
Yeah.
like, preparing for this class, I started doubling down on treating some of this stuff. And, because I rotate and I do my little routines, but then I do, if we have a class coming up, I was like, I'm going to do the class too, and I started doing it. I was like, oh my God, this was so good. Why haven't I been doing this for the last several months?
Mm,
And, you, you know, at least for me, I get so wound up on the nervous system and endocrine function and lymphatic system, but that's also tied to cardiovascular system as well, that I forget how impactful the physical heart is to psychological things. It just, I forget. And preparing for this class, I was going through and doing some of these protocols, and I was like, oh God, forget how much that it can contribute to things like anxiety and being triggered and almost like being afraid of other people a little bit,
mhm.
not necessarily consciously, but it's almost like, oh, I don't want to interact with them because I don't know what's going to happen. And, they're going to make me do something or I'm going to feel bad. It's like, it's just those weird things that we all have with like family or whatever. And,
Well, it sounds like I need to take the class too, so we'll
yeah,
plan.
some of it is in the blood,
Okay.
if you get blood into places, it's a different kind of regeneration than what we do with some of the things with the nervous system, but it's it contributes to more things than we realize.
Mm. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.